Welcome back, everybody. Canes Local, episode 74. Today we'll hit final cuts, prospects, how'd they perform, all that, much more coming up next. All right, guys, let's start with the roster as it sits right now. They made a huge cut after the last preseason game. So last count, they're down to 25 players, 14 forwards, 8 defensemen, and 3 goaltenders. So I did look it up after I asked you this afternoon, Kyle, and it's actually 23 is the full rosters that you can carry. So looks like we have 2 cuts to make. So let's take a look at that and see, who of the 3 we suspect will leave the lineup and who will make it. So we got the guys that I have on the table are Juha, Jaaska, Charles, Alexis, Legault, and also Cayden, Primeau in their respective positions. So I think two of those 3 are probably going to be going down, or do they make it, or do they we trade somebody away in before the season starts? So where are you guys heads at?
We're not trading anybody away. So yeah. The biggest thing is that we know Cayden Primeau, he's going to be an AHL goalie / third string goalie. So that guy, I mean, in reality, yes, we can carry up to 23. Carolina last year, for the majority of last year, carried 21 players. The year before that, they carried 21 players. The year before that, they carried 21 players. I was able to look that up, do a little fact checking on that. So we're going to get down to 21 guys, and we can kind of go through the lineup as far as who's still going to go sent down. I think the bigger question is who do we think still has a chance of maybe being that 21st guy and that extra forward or extra defenseman? Legault still being in the running kind of raises some question marks in my own head of like, okay, maybe it's just we want to give him a couple more preseason games or give him a couple more looks in practice, stuff like that. But part of me also is like, Rod really loves his left-hand, right-hand shot defenseman, and we have 4 left-hand shots and 2 right-hand shot defensemen. So is this kid making a case for himself to really be an NHL defenseman right now? And is he ready to be there? I don't think so. I think he probably needs another season of conditioning and kind of work in the AHL before he's 100% an NHL ready defenseman. But him not getting sent down kind of in that original group that went down to Chicago leaves a little bit of kind of question marks of, is there a move to be had? I don't believe there is. I don't think we're trading anybody, but if we were to trade somebody, it would be a left shot defenseman. And what we would get in return, I don't know. But that's kind of where my head's at. Maybe it's different with you guys, but the only guy out of the left shot D that we have currently in our lineup, that I would be comfortable trading would be Mr. Shane Gostisbehere. So I guess I'm going to pose a question to the 2 of you that have watched a little bit more of the preseason than I have. Is Alexander Nikishin or K'Andre Miller ready to take power play 1? Or do we need to keep Shane Gostisbehere in order to quarterback that top power play?
I don't think he's a necessity for the top. I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's tough because in the first preseason game they didn't do too well, but in the first one I'm sorry, not the first, but it would have been the third game where basically the top line and then Ghost played, so they got to run basically the power play 1 unit the whole night.
That was the second game, I believe.
I think it was the second game. Yeah, they didn't convert. I don't think they had a lot of chances for sure, but I don't know. I guess it's tough because if Rod's so obsessed with that left-hand, right-hand situation, then you don't really know what's going to happen. And I don't think any of the other lefties are getting traded. It's only him, really.
We just signed K'Andre Miller. Alexander Nikishin is the guy of the future, and everybody knows it.
Yeah.
You're not trading away Jacob Slavin. So it kind of falls into, It's got to
Yep.
be Shane Gostisbehere
Yep.
if we are trading away one of the left shot defensemen. It could be like, and what I'm leaning more towards is that they just want to see a little bit more of Legault before they do send him down. But that's kind of where my head's at as far as what they're doing. And I think we're going to go into the season with 4 left shot defensemen and kind of go from there.
Yep. I agree. And to answer your question, Kyle, no, I don't think either one of them is ready to man power play one. I think they're, they haven't seen enough of our power play in game situation to warrant that, I think, at this point. So I think Ghost is safe for the time being and to run that power play. Can Nikishin do it? Absolutely. I think it's just going to take some time. And I think Keandre Miller could do it. I don't think he's got the same upside as Nikishin does, quite honestly. So I think Nikishin is the next progression, excuse me, into that role. So, is Ghost immediately on the outside looking in potentially? No, I don't think so. And I think Legault, and I think Camby mentioned it too. He's a big kid. He's a defenseman. It's hard to come into this league as a defenseman young, and another year in the AHL will not hurt him at all. And I think getting top line minutes in the American League will do more for him than being a healthy scratch and skating every day with an NHL roster. So, anyways, I think to answer your question, no, neither one of them is ready for PP1. So I think it's Ghost to have at the moment, and I think he stays put, and we have 4 left shot defensemen heading into opening night.
And then kind of to go back to the rest of the lineup, who is I haven't seen Giovanni Smith get cut yet. I'm presuming he's still with the lineup.
He's still, Jost got picked up on waivers by Nashville, so I'm assuming he's going to be like basically the healthy scratch the whole year, is what I'm assuming. He's going to be.
That's the same thing that my thought is that it's going to be Giovanni Smith, just because the thing that he brings that Tyson Jost doesn't bring is the toughness factor as well too.
And he's big.
Where you need a big body that can fight if needed. He's one of those guys.
Hold on on that one. Hold on that thought, Kyle. Hot take. I'm looking at their roster at the moment, and it doesn't show him on the roster.
Oh.
I don't think he's been signed yet.
So I don't, but it did show him on.
Yeah, sorry.
But they did show him on the roster, sort of on the campus, on the training camp roster, I guess is where I was going with that. Mm-hmm. So, but they still have all the other guys. They have the prospects still listed on their roster, on their official roster page on their website.
Yeah, he's the only PTO that's left. The other 2 got cut, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, then. I mean,
I still think he's good to sign at league minimum.
Just so I can be with you guys in this one. Who are the guys that are left that are not our normal rostered guys? Who are those 6? It's Legault. It's
Juha Jaaska, he's AHL, still a prospect AHL guy.
I know who. Yeah, I'm
Cayden Primeau.
Cayden Primeau.
And really, that's it on the non-roster spot. Everybody else, you got Mike Riley, who's probably be the healthy scratch on the 7th defense. Mm-hmm. So that would be my suspect. So I think if
we're cutting down to 21, there's 5 guys.
I don't think we're going to go that deep, honestly. But hey, Rod's a creature of habit, so we'll see. But I just don't know who you send down, because some of these guys they'll have to clear waivers. Because you can't send most of the guys that are still rostered, I don't think are on 2-way contracts. So they'll have to go through waivers. Yeah. Guys like Eric Robinson, guys like Mark Jankowski, all those guys are still, they're still sitting in there with a roster spot. So they would have to clear waivers.
Yeah. No, the Robinsons, Jankowskis, those guys, I don't suspect those guys getting cut. Juha Jaaska will be down. Cayden Primeau will be down.
I think Legault will be down.
And then we're gonna have 2 healthy scratches most likely. It's probably gonna be Riley as the 7th defenseman, and then it's probably
Giovanni
going to be. Well, that Giovanni Smith's not even signed yet, so technically it wouldn't even need to be him. We could have I mean, we're looking at our top.
We already have one scratch, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we already have
Jankowski
with
really is the
just
scratch.
our 12 guys. We have either Jankowski, Carrier, Robinson. It's going to be one of those guys that's going to be the healthy scratch every single night. So it kind of depends on who's playing, I guess, who's going well. But
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think those three for sure make their way. After the next preseason game, I think that's tomorrow night. I think they play in Nashville.
that's the final one, I believe.
It is,
too.
yeah. So they had a really their schedule was weird this year. Maybe it's always weird, and I just didn't notice it because I don't really pay much attention to the schedule. But they had a bunch of games, and then all of a sudden they had a week of nothing but practice and really probably getting down to the final roster practice, basically is what it was. And so that the last preseason game is the end of it before they go into regular season. I think regular season starts next Wednesday, a week from
Next
Wednesday.
Wednesday is the first
Next
opening
Wednesday?
day. Yeah.
Just
So
maybe a touch of insight because now I'm doing this, but that final week when they're already dropping guys making their cuts, this is a systems week. So for the new guys that are coming in and are a little bit of a refresher for guys that we got later on in the year, like Logan Stankoven, Taylor Hall, those kind of guys as well too.
mm-hmm.
Just a little bit of a refresher course on here are our systems.
Right.
Wouldn't be surprised if we play a majority. I mean, we kind of have to, but I wouldn't be surprised if we pretty much play our full lineup going into that Nashville game. And that's kind of why they laid that last game out was just that, hey, here's your tune-up game before we start the regular
Right.
season.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, to be fair, Rod lays out his preseason pretty similar every single year. Usually he doesn't have this final game. So that's a little bit different, but he usually finishes his games like a week and a half before the season actually starts. And then that's just kind of a systems practice. You're just going through a normal kind of practice. You're done with the conditioning stints. You're done with all that kind of stuff. And you're just really working on, hey, let's work on the power play. Let's work on the penalty kill. Let's work on our forecheck, back check, all that kind of stuff as well too. So yeah.
Right.
No,
Okay. It makes sense. It
Similar
just was
layout.
weird. I just noticed it, and it's like,
Yeah.
didn't dawn on me why they were doing it that way, but that absolutely makes 100% makes so much sense. So anyway, so I guess let's spin off that and kind of get an idea of who the roster is going to look like, or what the roster is going to look like. So from what you saw, and I know Kai, you've been up to your elbows in work and not being able to get too many views on the preseason games, but I guess Cam, more to you is who on the prospect side do you see or did impressed more than you thought they would, and who? I mean, I have a couple that I think could be in the lineup, but they're not going to be in the lineup because of what we have in front of us. So who would you say are maybe your top two prospects that really made a statement for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm really surprised that Nadeau hasn't or that he got sent down as early as he did. Like, I thought he was going to be one of the last cuts if he was even going to get cut. So I don't know. I mean, he took a lot of steps from last year. Like, he is a lot better than he was last year. And he wasn't bad last year, but this year, like where he is now is where Blake was last year. That's how I look at it. Like, if he was in the same position last year, I guarantee he makes the team too with Blake. Like, I guarantee they both make the team last year. I really think it's just a roster constraint thing. We have so many wingers. Like, unless you start trading guys away, it's really tough to have him fit into the lineup. So I don't know. I mean, I think he really impressed me. Obviously Legault's gonna be really good. It's just a matter of, I still think he needs another year, to develop. I thought I think it's LeBanc is who it was. I mean, he got cut, but I still think he was good too. But
but he's not. But he wasn't much different than some of the.
That's what I mean.
He didn't make enough of a difference, So I get it. It's kind of like you guys have been to tryouts before, and you're same guy.
Yeah.
What's the little thing that sets them apart? So you go with what you know, or you go with what you don't know sometimes. So, I agree. I thought he had a good camp. I'm 100% agree with you on the two that you picked. I think Bradley Nadeau is. I said it to somebody around the office. I said, it'll be a crime if he doesn't get a sniff at the lineup this year because of how well he played in the preseason. But
Yeah, I know.
but I think he's just got to keep seasoning because he just doesn't have there's no spot to take. There's nobody. Who do you replace him with? And then do you give him? We said this in the last podcast. I said, do you give him fourth line minutes or do you give him first line minutes in the American League, running the power play and so on for another year? And I guess it'll show a lot about the kid too. Is that if he just keeps grinding, keeps doing it, because he's going to be an NHL player. There's no doubt.
I mean, yeah, if he takes the same step he took from last year to this year to next year, there's no way he doesn't make the team. So.
Right. So, and then the Legault kid, but the other kid that I like too is that there was another defenseman. I think he was a Swedish kid, that Nystrom kid.
Nystrom, he was good too.
Nystrom, but he reminded me a little bit of sort of a Shane Gostisbehere, not a big player, but he found pucks to the net. He got them through. He just did all the little things right. But again, it's just he wasn't any better than what we currently have. So I think he's gonna, will he make an NHL lineup? Some of these guys, hell, I mean, if they're not on our team, they're making opening night. I mean, Bradley Nadeau on about a handful of other teams in the NHL. He's starting.
Teams, yeah.
He's starting on opening night. So it's a good thing and a bad thing. I think Kyle, you mentioned it yesterday. It's a good thing and a bad thing to have, because you got a great lineup, but you also got great prospects, which is not a bad thing to have. But sometimes you can't keep all those guys either. So that's where it becomes a little bit challenging.
The way Eric Tulsky has managed this and Don Waddell has managed this roster, because I want to give some credit still to Don Waddell, because this is still majority of his roster. We're in a spot that not a lot of teams can say that they are in. Now, granted, is this a roster that gets us over the Eastern Conference hump into the Stanley Cup Finals? I don't know. But we have the options to move pieces in order to get pieces back that can help us there. And you see teams like Florida that do that. They trade away, the biggest one, they trade away Jonathan Huberdeau and Brendan Montour, a couple first-round picks in order to get, Matthew Tkachuk back. Like, that's one of those times where when you have that plethora of stuff as far as draft picks, as far as prospects, as far as roster players, everything like that, you can go out and make a big deal like that. Now, granted, I don't think there's going to be very many players that are on the block, as we'll call it, as far as big names really anymore until the salary cap starts to settle down. So Carolina might just end up riding this out a little bit more. But you do run into that situation where, God forbid, somebody was to get hurt. It's not like we don't have guys that can fill pretty much every single role we need filled in the lineup. We have guys that can play fourth line minutes. We have guys that can play third line minutes. And then we have AHL guys right now currently that can play in the top six and play those minutes. So having that, we all know an NHL season, it's not going to go without its hiccups. So somebody is bound to go down at some point. Having that only helps. It doesn't hurt anything as far as, what our roster does look like. But Nadeau is probably the now blue chip prospect now that Nikishin is really here.
Yep.
So just waiting to see, when he's able to make his appearance. And I'm telling you right now, he will play games this season in the NHL. I just kind of already know it. He's going to play games this season in the NHL. How many he plays, I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's going to play games. So
I don't remember which one of you guys said it. But I know one of you did, because I didn't say it. But on his one time, he's very much Nature's like when he sets up and shoots the puck on the power play, or I think it was a power play. Maybe it was a power play, but his release, maybe it was you, Kyle. His release is so quick, and he doesn't.
It's better than Nature's.
Yeah, he doesn't waste any time getting the puck on and off his stick. I mean, both of his goals were the same. They were on and off his stick so quickly that it was like the goaltender didn't have a chance. I mean, the one goal he stood up, he's like, "What the hell just happened?" He goes, "It was bing bang so quick." So
the bigger thing is that can he do it against NHL defensemen?
Yep.
Can he do it against an NHL center? Can he do it against an NHL goalie? So that's the piece that remains to be seen.
Yeah.
Because he had the one game where he had the 2 goals, and then he had an assist in another game, and then outside of that, there were games where he was a little bit more on the invisible side. And that's why I think staying in the AHL for another season and really developing your game's only going to help. It's not going to hurt. So same thing Logan Stankoven did. His freshman campaign, well, I guess he came up after 56 games his first season, but still kind of very similar boat where he just needed more time to develop. So
yeah. So we'll see. But again, Nadeau, he's definitely, he's going to be in the lineup at some point, and I can't wait for the Canes fans to see him because he's electric. When he's going, he's going. And but I think the Legault kid. One more final point on him is his hockey IQ is really, really good. I mean, he knows he's almost like I don't want to give him Jacob Slavin props, but he knows where to go. He knows where to have his stick. He knows how to position himself. He turned over. Now again, it may have been against a lesser roster, so I'm going to kind of give him a little bit of, but just to see how he reacts, he is the real deal. I think Cam, you said it last week. He's the real deal, and I'm excited for the defensive prospects.
Yeah, especially him. I compare him for me. It's if Pesce had feet. Yeah, that's what it would be.
Yeah,
if Pesce could skate really well, it's Legault. Yeah. That's what he would be.
Yeah.
So he brings that size. He's very responsible in the defensive zone. Positionally, he's really good. But again, yeah, you never know against an NHL roster. Yep. So it'll be interesting to see if he actually gets a crack to play in the last game and rotate in as maybe the third pairing defenseman or defensive pairing with like Nikishin, because they were paired together quite a bit.
Yep. Yeah,
on some of the games. So
and that's going to
be interesting to see.
It'll be a pretty much NHL roster on Friday night. So
pretty much.
Yeah. So I guess a quick we'll step off that, but a quick injury update. I mean, I saw Jacob Slavin's taking full contact today, so that's it's good. We kind of knew that, but it's always nice to hear that he's taking some bumps in practice to make sure he's ready to go for the regular season. Nothing new. I don't know if you guys heard anything new on Chatfield, but hadn't heard anything as of the time we started talking here a little bit ago.
He's full contact. Everybody's full contact.
Okay,
today.
Good.
No more yellow jerseys today.
Okay, good.
The only one that's out is still Kotkaniemi.
Okay, so anyways, should be interesting next couple of days on who goes and who stays, and if I think you mentioned it yesterday, Kyle. There's Kane's got plenty of cap space to take a run at somebody even before the start of the season. So. We'll see. Hopefully, we don't have to trade away one of our, blue chip prospects and or, key roster players to get a player. But at the same time, if it makes us better, I have no doubt that Tulsky's going to pull the trigger with the full support of Dundon and Rod.
The Canes are going to hold off until the trade deadline. They're going to keep the salary cap. It's going to be just a luxury at the deadline because teams are going to run out. So
we'll see. There's a lot of big free agents coming up this year, so we'll see.
They're not gonna. The free agency market is not going to be the same until the salary cap settles down.
Maybe,
because there's just the teams are
there's
getting
too many teams that can just give whatever. Yeah.
Well, and every year it's like, okay, we're against the salary cap, but when we go to the next summer, we're gonna have $7 more million to give away to people. Like when they keep giving these massive bumps, the free agent market is just not going to be the same. You're going to see more deals happen with middle six guys. You're not going to see the big name players getting moved quite that often because if they like where they're at, as long as they like where they're at, you're not going to see those moves happen.
Right. Yeah. No. Agreed. So anyways, we'll close on just a Kaprizov note. I mean, I know Cam, you mentioned it, so we'll mention it here, but and Kyle, you said the first chip has fallen, so 17 million, 6 years, 17 million, I think was the 8 years, 17 million. So, so he, we waffled on what he was going to do next week. Kyle was pretty adamant he was going to stay in Minnesota, which he did. And, so he's off the market for the next 8 seasons. Well, in theory, he's off the market for the next 8 seasons. Doesn't mean he won't get traded somewhere potentially, but I doubt it. So we'll see what happens. So so it would be interesting to see what happens next year with all the other guys that contracts are coming due, because 17 million is just setting the precedence for everybody else that's coming down the pipe.
Did you see Bill Guerin's quote on that?
No, you told me though. It
was hysterical. They did like a post signing press conference, and the first question asked was, is Kaprizov happy with his contract? And Bill Guerin, before Kaprizov could even say anything, he goes, he fucking better be. He just signed $136 million or whatever, $126 million contract.
Yeah.
He's the richest player in NHL history. He fucking better be.
I know. I don't know what, like I said, I don't know what that is going to do. I mean, that's just, that push, like we thought the Draisaitl contract was big. Like this is
the Draisaitl contract now with the new salary cap. It's a good deal.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, you think, and then you look back at Colorado not wanting to give Rantanen 12.
Yeah, I know.
And you look at just this a couple months ago, and it's like, unless McDavid somehow takes a hometown discount at Edmonton, he's going to get what, 19
at least.
And
I think the
Cale
max
Makar's going to get 16. Like the Avs have
is
literally bent themselves over a barrel. They have to sign Makar, and it's going to be a huge number.
Huge number.
It's
yeah.
going to be huge.
Well, look
like
at
so the max.
It's crazy.
The max contract you can take is 20%.
20% of salary cap. Yeah.
If I'm correct, it's like
19.8 million.
I don't think we're at 100 yet.
Or it's like 103 million or something. So
are we at over 100
yet?
20?
I thought we were over 100. Yeah. So
I didn't
you
think
can
it
take
was
a
till
little
next
over
year.
20.
I thought we were at like 98 million this year. I didn't think it was till next year that we went over 100 million in the salary cap.
Well, I guess when they sign, they can sign for whatever the salary cap will be the following year, since they're under contract this year. So it'd be 20% of whatever the salary cap's going to be. Yeah. So it would be over 100 that point. So it'd be just a hair above 20 million. But
because
I don't think I don't see those guys going to free agency.
I don't
but
either.
I'm just saying, like the Avs they've really shot themselves in the foot with the whole Rantanen, and then obviously they got to sign Makar, and I think they'll probably lose Natchez too because of it. I think he's going to walk because Natchez. Natchez is going to want 11 million. Like. And who's to say somebody won't give it to him? I think a lot of teams will give it to him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So
I'm telling you right now, I'm calling the number for Connor McDavid. It's going to be a 4-year contract at $15.5 million.
Okay.
If he signs in Edmonton, I could see that.
Yeah, I can see that too.
He's going to sign in Edmonton. He's not going anywhere else. So he's
unless
they
just absolutely stink this first couple months of the season. If they're like bottom of the NHL. I don't know. He may sign a bridge for like 2 years, but
Leon Draisaitl on your team, you're not going to be bottom of the NHL. I promise you that.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Hey, you never know, man.
They've had really bad Octobers the past couple years. So
Also, another final signing thing. Edmonton.
Yep.
A little trade action. They get Connor Ingram, who had a tough season last season, but if we remember the year before,
he was really
finished,
good. Yeah,
4th in Vezina voting. He was lights out for Arizona before they moved over to Utah. Went through some mental issues last season, but I think that could be a sneaky, really good signing for Edmonton. And that could be a piece that all of a sudden it's like, hey, we have a goalie now. We have a true number one goalie, because when Connor Ingram is playing at the top of his game, Arizona's defense in front of him wasn't much better than what Edmonton's producing out in front of Ingram now, and he was lights out.
Yep.
So if he can produce
really good,
similar numbers to what he was in Arizona, they got a goalie, and that's basically what they've been missing.
Well, we'll see.
Pretty much.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But should be fun to watch. And so I guess until now, unless you guys until the next time, I guess. And if you guys got anything else, we'll sign off. So until next time, for Cam, Kyle, and myself, have a great night.